All right, here it is, the tutorial you've all been asking for, the tattoo wipe transition, or as I like to call it, the wipe on tattoo. Hashtag. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this effect, it's something that I've been doing on my Instagram stories and videos for quite a while now. Basically, it starts as a shot of a tattoo stencil on someone's skin, a hand with a paper towel enters the frame, wipes down the tattoo, revealing the finished product. For me, this has been a super valuable tool for creating Instagram stories where I have an extremely limited amount of time and I'm trying to convey as much information as possible. Now, this technique is not tattoo specific. It could work for any type of before and after presentation, and it can take your videos to the next level, so let's get into it. But first, here's a few examples of what it looks like. Now, the first and most important steps are getting the before and after shots. It is crucial, and I repeat, crucial, that both shots are done in the exact same way. This means that they have to have the same focal length, they have to be the same distance from the subject, you want to be using the same lighting scenario. Everything needs to be exactly the same. And for your camera settings, you're gonna wanna have the exact same shutter speed and frame rate for both shots. Once you have your shots, you can go ahead and import them into Adobe Premiere. So go ahead and drag over your two clips that you're gonna be using. This was the before clip, and this is the after clip. You're gonna wanna place the final shot on top of the before shot. So you can see here, before, after. Now, a super important part of this process is framing up the before and after so that they're exactly in the same spot. One way that I go about doing that is I drop the opacity over here in the effects controls to about 50%. That allows me to see through it, and then you can see here that they're pretty much the same. And this is where a lot of that prep work of shooting them the exact same way comes into play. Once you have them fully lined up, you can go ahead and bring that opacity back up to 100%. From here, you want to pull the playhead over to the beginning of the second clip. Make sure that second clip is highlighted. And you're gonna come over here under opacity, you're gonna see the free mask Bezier tool. When you select that, it'll bring up a brand new mask. Using this tool, you can come over and start selecting points to create the shape of your mask. And in this case, we're masking out the hand and the paper towel. You can adjust these points after the fact if you want to manipulate them, move them around, whatever you want to do. Try not to have any of that final tattoo showing through. Once you have that first mask created, you're going to want to toggle on all of these options below, which is the path, feather, opacity, and expansion. Selecting your mask once again, you can come over and click this button, which is the track selected mask forward one frame. This is going to create a new keyframe in the next frame over. You can see it went ahead and created that for you. Now, Adobe Premiere tries to predict what you're going to do in the next frame, and it will move this mask for you, but you can see here, sometimes it does a really bad job. You can grab this little guy here to adjust the feather, which is not something we really want to do, but something we do want to do is adjust the rotation of this so we can get it at least close to it, and then bringing these points back out and reshaping the area that you're wanting to mask. Another thing that I think is super helpful, especially in this vertical orientation, is changing this to 100% and then scrolling up. This allows you to see outside of the frame and make sure that your mask completely comes outside of the frame. From there, you'll go ahead and select mask forward one frame again, creating the next keyframe. You can see it did a bad job predicting once again, but that's not a big deal. You can just drag these back out of frame. You can see we're gonna have to create a new point here to really get that curve of that paper towel. Creating new points is gonna help you really finely tune the shape of this mask. And there's our third one. So you'll continue doing these frame by frame by frame until the entire clip is covered. And what that'll end up looking like is this. I'll go ahead and select that mask so that you can see it and you can watch it. As I pull it across, it's tracking along with that paper towel, frame by frame by frame, until the entire thing is covered. So when you play it back, you have before and after. At that point, you can continue doing your editing, color grading, any kind of effects that you want to add. I'll turn my effects on, and there you have it.